Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I've got both Sherman and Slothy with me today. Sherman, how you doing?
Doing good. We're getting nice weather. It's nice and hot. How did you guys sleep on like Wednesday? Because that was like the hottest on record for us here.
Me like a baby. I have AC.
Okay,
I have
Slavi.
AC. I got AC in the truck,
Uh,
AC in the back. Ooh.
it was consistently like 15 to 20 degrees too warm for me all week.
Uh,
I
that's
was
right. You
I
don't
was
like the
I was dying.
yeah. You don't like the warmth. You like it like in the teens, 20s.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Other than that, like I am enjoying the warm weather, but yeah, that was a little bit too hot. I could not sleep at all. I was like went to bed at like 11 or so and then woke up at like 2 and then I couldn't fall asleep after that.
The only heat wave for me has been Bloomborough spoilers. Whoo. Man, they're good. They're real good.
Yeah.
That's right before we were even talking, we were just talking about the silly stuff. I think, like I said, Bloomborough's been like a return to what a lot of us wanted Magic to be for a long time, right? It feels like a coherent set. It's like following an actual storyline. It's not just random 80 characters from different planes jumping around for once.
Yeah.
I just still wasn't a big fan of like the. I haven't enjoyed the Omen Paths arc so far.
Fair.
It's felt like low consequence and stuff. And again, like this is just a miniature story of like these like little critters like overcoming these big calamity beasts kind of thing. Like, but they're just like normal giant things like an owl.
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, I'm in love with the set. But yeah, today we are. Oh yeah, by the way, Slothy, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I am also a massive fan of these Bloomberg spoilers. I've built over the last week, I think 5 of the Bloomberg commanders on top of like 7 or 8 of the Assassin's Creed decks.
Yeah, can't stop,
So
won't stop.
been busy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's
How are you doing?
I'm good. We did not even long ago. I think it might have even been. Was it last week we did Assassin's Creed spoilers?
Yeah.
We did that.
Good.
We did Socrates.
No, that was before. Yeah, I think last week was Assassin's Creed. I built a bunch of the Assassin's Creed stuff. I ended up liking that set more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I generally I didn't really enjoy the Doctor Who stuff, the Lord of the Rings stuff. It was full. It was good flavor, but the Assassin's Creed stuff was just actually full of really fun cards to build. Credit where credit's due. It was good. I was gonna say
Fair.
today we're time traveling. It was like 2 or 3 sets in the past now at this point. So,
At this point, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like we're just gonna just talk about
whatever.
commanders we
Oh,
like.
yeah. There's no way to keep up with like any like we were all talking. We could do 5 Bloomborough episodes today, and they've already been doing Duskmorn spoilers too,
Yeah. Like
right?
we
Like
we
there's
might as well just record every single day and release an episode every single day at this point in time.
we'd still be five sets behind.
It's true.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I was gonna say let's go back. Let's go back in time to 3 sets away, or as I like to call it, 8 weeks ago. It's a little silly, but I today we're doing Disa, and I really like this commander. I think it's really fun. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Tarmagoyf kind of things because Tarmagoyf's really cool. It was a very expensive chase card for a long time, right? Like the having a Tarmagoyf in your deck meme was funny. It's just the telling my wife I spent $2,000 upgrading the deck, which she thinks, and it's like a nice patio setup, like big fire pit, and it's just 4 foil Tarmagoyfs. It was nice. And now it's down to a token, and we make the token. But let me move over here to this one. So we have Disa the Restless. This is the face commander of, I can't even remember the deck name, but it's nice and cheap. It's like $1 card, which is great. Disa is a human scout, which is 2 black, red, green for a 5/6. Whenever a Lurgoyf permanent card is put into your graveyard from anywhere other than the battlefield, put it onto the battlefield. That's a cool ability, but that's not what we care about at all. What we care about is the following. It's whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a Tarmogoyf token. And in this set, in this like deck, we're just trying to make as many Tarmogoyfs as we can. And Tarmagoyf's very, very strong. Very, very, very strong card that I forgot how it functioned until we were playing with Sherman, and Sherman reminded me that it's every graveyard, not just my graveyard.
Yeah, because you were like, oh, like they're like 1-2s or 2-3s or something. Like what? There's no way. Like I have 3 different things in my graveyard. They're bigger than that.
Yeah, they were not. So the Tarmagoyf token is it's got a mana value of 2. Its power is equal to the number of card types among cards in all graveyards, and its toughness is that plus 1. So it can get pretty nuts pretty fast, honestly. The this is like a really I have a little bit of a more expensive version that has some duels. It has like just some duels, some faster mana like a mana crypt and stuff. But it honestly doesn't really change how the deck functions between the 2 versions. So I'm giving you guys the budget version. Obviously, if you put more expensive land base in, it's going to be more expensive and a little more efficient. But really, you don't need it for the direction I went in this one.
We need to point out that your result summary for some unknown reason is really low. Like it's according to Architect, it's like 18.35. It's like all you have to do is throw in lands and you already get into that, let alone
Let me tell you, it's because this deck is full trash. It is not a good deck, but it is very fun and it gets very aggressive very, very quickly. Well, like so again, Disa is trying to care about all of the permanent types, right? So we want to find the permanent types are, let's go through it. It is artifact, enchantment, land, creature, planeswalker, battle. What else do we got? Anything that's tribal counts as another one. Oh, instant sorcery. So 9. So they can be, I think, 9/10s.
yeah. So artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, creature, land, battles, dungeons. What the heck? I just googled it. So instant sorceries
And
class. No, these are card types. Wait, hang on. I'm way off.
Yeah, it's
Anyway, I think it was like the max was supposed to be like 9 or something like that.
yeah, let me take a look and see what we can hit with Tarmagoyf. What are the types? It should say in the rules here somewhere. Yeah, Kindred is the new card type. We get it. Counts card types, not cards. Where is my... Okay, card types that can appear in a graveyard are artifact, battle, creature, enchantment, instant, kindred, land, planeswalker, and sorcery. Yeah, so 9/10 is the biggest it can get without other buffs.
Yeah, so they get pretty big.
Yeah, and having a commander that's generating us potentially 9/10s is going to be a lot. You're going to have in commander games a lot of instant covered, sorcery covered lands. That's a pretty standard. People fetch lands, things go, you know. So we don't need to care so much about that. But let's jump into our first section is artifacts. Yeah, and it is a really low salt score, but I like it. I found it to be pretty salty with what you're doing, kind of. Yeah. Our first one, I'll take it, is Arcane Signet. Just nice, easy. We want more permanent card ramp, I think, than our traditional like route of like a Farseek. So I went a little bit more onto the artifact side. So Signet, 2 mana, add 1 mana of any color in your color's commander identity. Easy.
And then we got the Charcoal Diamond for 2 mana. Charcoal Diamond enters the battlefield tapped, and you tap it to add a black.
then we've got the Fire Diamond. Same thing. Enters tapped. Costs 2. Taps for red.
Yeah. I went a little harder into the green ramp, so we've got Golgari Locket. 3 mana, you tap for either a black or a green, and then you can dump hybrid Golgari into it 4 times. Sack it, draw 2 cards. Not horrible late game, and again, a way to get a artifact into the grave.
Yeah. Then we got the Golgari Signet for 2 mana. You can tap 1 and tap it to add a Golgari mana.
Then we've got the Moss Diamond, 2 mana, enters tapped, taps for green.
Really, really basic package here. A Soul Ring, which is just 1 tap, adds 2 mana.
Then we got the Talisman of Resilience for 2 mana. You can tap to add a colorless, or you can tap it to add a black or a green, but you take 1 damage for it.
Yeah. 1 damage is nothing.
And
Commander.
then we've got then we've got Tormod's Crypt, 0 mana. You can tap and sacrifice it to exile target player's graveyard.
Target yourself.
That's funny. I just like it. It's a nice, easy way to get an artifact into the grave there.
That's fair.
Yeah. What about Commander Sphere?
Command Sphere would be another great like rock in the deck.
Yeah, have that or Mind Stone, something like that.
Oh, these next ones are going to be something to read. We've got battles, and of course they're all sideways. Let's do our best we can with our battles here. So battles are another permanent type. We want them in the grave, kind of thing. So we want to hit them as much as we can. So the first is Invasion of Asgol. It comes in with 4 counters on it. What are they called again?
I don't know. I just call them
Protection
counters.
counters. Yeah, they have 4. You have to do 4 damage to it.
Battle counters.
Yeah. When it enters the battlefield, target player sacks a creature or planeswalker and loses 1 life, which is the front side. Great. And then the back side is Ashen Reaper. It is a 2/1 zombie elemental with menace. At the beginning of your end step, you put a 1/1 counter on it if a permanent was put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn, which is kind of what we would want to be doing anyways.
That's fun. Then we got Invasion of Urgamon for a red and a green. So when Invasion of Urgamon enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Then you may discard a card. If you do, you draw a card, and it comes in with 5 of those counters on it. When you flip it, it is a Turga Cliff Changer. That's a 3/4. It has trample. When a Cliff Charger enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, search your library for a land or battle card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Ooh, that's kind of nice.
Not horrible, right?
Yeah.
Then we've got the Invasion of Ixalan. 1 and a green for a 4 counter battle. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a permanent card from among them, put it into your hand, and then put the rest on the bottom of the library in random order. And then it flips into Belligerent Regisaur, which is a 4/3 dinosaur with trample. Whenever you cast a spell, Belligerent Regisaur gains indestructible until end of turn.
Yeah, I think it's not too horrible. The trample to roll over and get that damage in because we want to get damage in, right? This is just it turns into a attacker we can just endlessly attack with.
Yeah.
Then we have Invasion of Mercadia. When it enters the battlefield, you can discard a card. If you do, you draw 2, which is nice. A little like Faithless Looting style effect. Whoops, that's the wrong button. There's my flip. Yeah, it flips into Kieran Flamewright. 3/3 Goblin Shapeshifter with 2, a red, and a tap. You discard a card, create 2 1/1 red and blue and red elemental creature tokens. Creatures you control get 1/0 and haste until end of turn. This is also a pretty nice battle to have to get those Tarmagoyf swing in to get card types into our graveyard by allowing us to draw and to make more little low-cost tokens to swing at people. Doesn't matter how much damage we do. We just got to do 1 damage to get a Tarmagoyf.
Yeah, it's true. All right. And then the last battle we have here is Invasion of Zendikar for 3 and a green. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. It comes in with 3 counters on it, and then it changes to Awakened Skyclave. It's a 4/4 elemental. Vigilance Haste. As long as the Skyclave is on the battlefield, it is a land in addition to those other types, and you can tap it to add 1 mana of any color.
I like these battle options.
I hope they bring battles again.
I liked battles. I didn't think that they were too bad.
Yeah.
The flip mechanic is nice on them. It kind of gives you something to attack at. Especially like I said, we're only we can only get through. This isn't each creature damage. This is only one or more creatures. So sadly,
Yeah.
we have to focus
Mhm.
on actually getting through.
Yeah.
Let's
Which
do
is
our enchantments next here. We'll end on creatures as we often do.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
Let me pop us into enchantments. I'll start our enchantments here. Actually, Slothy, you go ahead.
Sure. The first enchantment we got here is Beastmaster Ascension, 2 and a green. Whenever a creature you control attacks, you may put a quest counter on Beastmaster Ascension, and then as long as it has 7 or more quest counters on it, creatures you control get +5/+5.
What's that make them? 14, 15s? Tarmagoyfs?
Yep.
They're gonna be big. Let's just face
Yeah.
it.
Problem.
They're
You
gonna
don't
be
want to.
big.
You don't want those.
Big.
We have Break Through the Line, which is going to really matter in our deck. It is 1 in a red. You can pay a red. Target creature with power 2 or less gains haste until end of turn and can't be blocked. Can't be blocked in these colors is kind of a little harder to get. We don't have blue.
Yeah.
But
That's fair.
we just want to hit people. We just doesn't matter for how much. We just want to hit them. I just want Tarmagoyf tokens, and I'm not the problem.
You can't swing in, just bring a big stick and just whack your opponent.
Right. I when we were playing this the game that I was playing out in the face-to-face event, that's all I was doing. I was just massing Tarmagoyf tokens. I wasn't attacking with them. I was just hanging out. It was a Tarmagoyf party. Party Magoyf.
It was annoying.
It became a problem pretty quick, to be honest. There was no way around how silly it kind of was to
Yeah.
be making 3 Tarmagoyfs every turn that were
Yeah, it is
like
brutal.
9/10s. Yeah, you don't want to leave that alone. I get it. I get it. It makes sense.
Right. The next enchantment we have is Eyes of the Wyset. So for 1 in a green, tribal enchantment, it's elemental. Whenever an opponent plays a blue spell during your turn, you may put a 4/4 green elemental creature token into play. Woo, that one's a fun card.
Pretty decent. And that one will hit our kindred or tribal, whatever you want to call it, thing in the
Yep.
grave. So if they want to destroy it, great. If they don't, pretty solid card there.
Then we've got Ferocity of the Wilds, 2 in a red. Attacking non-human creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample.
Great card. Great card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it. We've got a Garrick's Uprising, 2 and green. When it enters, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. We're gonna. Creatures you control have trample. That's a problem. And whenever a creature with power 4 enters under your control, draw a card. So if we're hitting every turn and connecting for 3 Tarmagoyfs as a draw 3 every turn, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and you were able to do that often.
I was
Let's
able to
face it.
get 3 Tarmagoyfs every
Yeah.
turn nearly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tarmagoyf Party. The next one, I don't know how I feel about it in the deck. I just really like its populate, but it might be a cut for later on. But please take it away.
Okay, so we have Life Finds a Way for 2 in a green. Whenever a non-token creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you populate.
Yeah, I really like making copies of my Tarmagoyfs, but not much in my deck is power 4 or greater, except really the commander, I think.
Oh, we'll find out once we get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. And then Slothy, please finish our enchantments up.
Yeah. The final enchantment we've got is Sticky Fingers. Single red, it's an aura. Enchanted creature has menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And when enchanted creature dies, you draw a card.
Yeah. I've always liked that one.
That's a fun one.
My
Right, so we got a bunch done. That's probably like half your deck right there.
to be honest, kind of. It's kind of close. Yeah, I've got. Let's hit my instance section here. It's a weird one. It's a pretty weird instance section.
What do you mean? There's actually cards in it?
Yeah, because it's not just one card. We have 13 instants in it at a lovely price of only like $20. Our first is Blades of Velasvel. It is 1 in a red. We're trying to get those tribal cards or the kindred cards into the grave, so we have a lot of the kindred things in there. This is an instant one that'll hit both. So it's 1 in a red. It has change thing. It's every card type at all time, or every creature type at all time. Up to 2 target creatures each get 2/0 and gain all creature types until end of turn.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, not bad.
We got your classic Dark Ritual for 1 black. You add 3 black instead.
We want this out fast. Fast on a budget. Let's be
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Then we've got Eye Blight's Ending, 2 in a black. It's another one of the kindred instants. Destroy target non-elf creature.
That hits a lot in Commander, I think.
Hits quite often.
That
Yeah.
hits a fair amount.
We have our Golgari Charm. 1 black, 1 green. You choose one. All creatures get -1/-1 till end of turn. A lovely token wipe for other people. Destroy target enchantment, but for me, it's the regenerate each creature. I want those Tarmagoyfs around. I don't want to lose them. They're my friends.
Like when I Maelstrom pulsed you.
Yeah, you did. You did Maelstrom pulse me the first time on him. I'll give you that.
Hey, that's an underused card. So,
Yeah.
all right. Next one we have, is a new one from the Thunder Junction. Great Train Heist for a red to start off. You have Spree, so you have you can add 2 in a red to untap all creatures you control. If it's your combat phase, there is an additional combat phase after this. Or you can also add 2 colorless. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain first strike until end of turn. Ooh, that one's nasty. And then the last one is you can add a red, choose target opponent. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to that player this turn, create a tapped treasure token. This is a nice card.
I like it. I kind of like this Spree. It's got a lot of utility.
Yeah.
We have a lot of creatures that are
Yeah.
going to care about having that first strike because our creature section is full of garbage. So having them not die is kind of nice. Having that extra combat available is a good time. And then the treasure ramp is not horrible.
Mhm.
Slothy, please.
Then we've got another kindred one. We've got Nameless Inversion, 1 and a black. It's got Changeling. Target creature gets +3/-3 and loses all creature types until end of turn.
It's kind of a nice kill card, too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Almost like a bolt.
Nice little buff, nice little kill, yeah. We have Once Upon a Time, which is possibly one of my favorite cards in Magic. I love having this card in my opening hand. It is 1 in a green. If it's the first spell you've cast the game, you can cast without paying its mana cost, which is always delightful. I love it. You look at the top 5 cards of your library. You can reveal a creature or land from among them, put into your hand, put the rest in the bottom. That's great. It kind of cultivates your hand a little bit early on in the game. It's one of my favorite ramp cards, and I love that it's still so cheap.
I still remember when Eldraine first came out, this card was such a problem in Standard.
Yeah.
Like I was still playing Magic Arena at that time, and oh my goodness, it was so annoying.
I love that free cast to have a kind of dig 5 deep mulligan on your opener. I really like that.
All right, next card we have here is Pepper Smoke for a single black. It is a tribal instant for fairy. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. If you control a fairy, you get to draw a card.
Which is possible in this deck. We do have some fairies. What? Maybe.
Nice.
We'll see. Allegedly.
We might. Allegedly. Then we've got Savage Beating. 3 double red. Cast a spell only during your turn and only during combat. You can choose one. Creatures you control gain double strike till end of turn. Untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. And it has Entwine for 1 in a red.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That double strike getting double Tarmagoyfs.
Yeah, getting 6 Tarmagoyfs instead of just 3. Ugh.
Yeah. And the additional combat.
Ugh. No
12,
thanks.
12 Tarmagoyfs a turn. Let's go. We're so back. This is you should attack with the Tarmagoyfs. Never take my advice, and just that they're not don't stack the Magoyfs.
Yeah, you like to dirtle and build.
I do.
They're just friends.
I just like to see how many Tarmagoyfs I can hang out at the Tarmagoyf party. Yeah, Savage Beating is what Wizards doing with the Bloomburrow spoilers. They cast this
Oh
on my
yeah,
wallet. It hurts. We have Tarfire, Tribal Instinct Goblin for 1 red, deals 2 damage to target creature or player.
nice.
Not horrible to
We
get
got
rid of someone's early ramp. Like, there's a lot of games where if you hit like my Llanowar or my Birds of Paradise, it's gonna drastically change the hand I kept. So,
Oh, that's so true. That's why they always say both the bird, right?
yep.
We have Throw of Possibility for 1 in red. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you discard a card, and you get to draw 2 cards.
I like the loots in general, but again, we can cultivate that graveyard to what we need.
Yeah, red's great for that.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got Tribute to the Wild, 1 and a green. Each opponent sacks an artifact or enchantment.
I hate this card early game. It's
Goodbye,
so
Still Ring.
it's so rough early game if everyone else is ramping out, and then you're just like, bam, losing some soul rings, losing that early land tax you kept. Oh, it's dirty. It's a dirty card
And
to
it's
play.
in green. That's the worst part.
Yeah, green doesn't need this power.
No, because
and then
like,
go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, like, like since you're in green, like all you care about is like ramping into your lands. You don't care. So if you like, more people should play this just to be annoying.
It puts in work. It like Brian traditionally runs this in like every deck. It's one of Brian's like favorite removal pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurts early game every time. We have our final instant here is Village Rites,
Yeah.
which is how do you not, right? It's 1 black as an additional cost. You sack a creature, draw 2 cards. We're making creatures. We don't care.
So true.
One less mouth at the Tarmagoyf party. We don't have anything insane in the land section. We've got like our Evolving Wilds. We do have some cycling lands, like Forgotten Cave. Again, just ways to get them into the grave if we need to. Terramorphic, it's mostly just kind of that. Really, really basic land section. We have 1 Planeswalker. Sherman, you want to take that one?
Yeah, we have Xenagos, the Reveler, for 2 red and a 2 red and a green. It comes in with 3 loyalty. The +1 is you add X mana in any combination of red and or green, where X is the number of creatures you control. Fun. For 0 loyalty, create a 2/2 red and green satyr creature token with haste, and its ultimate is a -6. Exile the top 7 cards of your library. You may put any number of creatures and or land cards from among them onto the battlefield. That's pretty good.
It's not horrible. I really like that ramp ability.
The ramp one's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, like, for 0, you can just create something to protect it. So
Yeah, I love the 0 protection is pretty great. We have a pretty lacking sorcery card, but a sorcery section. Slothy, start us off.
Yeah, the first one we've got is Collective Brutality, 1 and a black. It's got Escalate, discard a card. You can choose 1 or more. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose an instant or sorcery card from it, and that player discards that card. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. Or target opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life.
I like this early. Like we can make people lose their creatures that are like helping them to ramp. We can throw things to our grave, which is great, and we can hurt their hand as well. I like it. We've also got our Faithless Looting for basically the same reason, just trying to get our own things in the grave. 1 red, you draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Flashback of 2 and a red. Shockingly, I chose a different artwork. I can't stand that art.
Yeah, you did. That's kind of disappointing.
I'm gonna never stop talking about how much I don't like that artwork. It's wild.
fair. All right, we have Fork in the Road for 1 in the green. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and reveal them. Put 1 in your hand and the other in your graveyard, then shuffle the library. This is a good card for this deck.
Yeah, right. I like to run it in like a Muldrotha kind of deck too, right? Because I know I can get that other one back.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any of those frog
Yeah.
decks that are coming out too, where you can get lands back, like a Slowgurk. I really like this. Just to fill the grave for 2 and still get our ramp is nice.
Yep.
Slothy, please.
Then we've got the Life's Legacy. 1 and a green. As an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Draw cards equal to sacrifice creature's power.
That's gonna get out of control fast.
Powerhouse card, yeah. Again, if we're making 9/10s, a 2 mana draw 9 is pretty gross.
That's like
Yeah.
what's the card? Greater Good. Greater Good would be a good
Greater
Yeah.
Good's
addition.
wonderful, yeah.
Yeah.
We have Lively Dirge, 1 and a black. It's got Spree again. So you choose one or more as you pay it. So you play 1 extra colorless. Search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. That's really what we're doing. We're tutoring. But then it also has a +2, return up to 2 target creatures, or 2 creatures with total mana 4 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. I like that as well.
For 4 mana, that's not bad at all.
Yeah. Pretty decent.
Yeah, and then you add 1 just to tutor, so that'd be 5. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, the next card here we have is Unmarked Grave for 1 and a black. Search your library for a non-legendary card. Put that card into your graveyard, then shuffle. Oh, so it's like an Entomb.
Yeah. We've got a lot of pretty cheap tutoring in here. And I think maybe the reason is because I'm tutoring it to the grave, that it doesn't make it more salty and stuff, because it's not like it's coming to hand. I'm just trying to, a lot of times I'm gonna personally, at least, I'm looking for a battle or like the Eyes of the Wizened kind of thing, where it's enchantment and a kindred.
We need to point out the fact that you still have tutors. They're going to the grave, sure, but you still have tutors, and this is a budget deck that's like what, $105?
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
$106, yeah. Like, how much is a demonic tutor or a vampiric tutor right now?
That's the double the deck budget with 1 card.
Yeah.
Slothy, finish our last one here.
Yeah. Last sorcery we've got here is Warren Weirding. 1 and a black. It's a tribal sorcery goblin. Target player sacrifices a creature. If a goblin is sacrificed this way, that player puts 2 1/1 black goblin rogue creature tokens onto the battlefield, and those tokens gain haste until end of turn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again, just another early annoying card. If the only thing they have is their commander and you make them sack it this way, brutal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brutal. Sacrifice hurts. I've been going down the sacrifice route though ever since I've seen how Sherman's building, because it is better.
You have to, with all the indestructibility that's out there now. Like, you either have to go the sacrifice route, or you have to go with cards that remove the hexproof and indestructibility, pretty much.
Well,
and those cards are expensive, so it's cheaper to go the sacrifice route.
Well, and every card right now is like blah blah blah, 1 mana instant. All of your creatures are indestructible, and you draw a card.
Yeah.
Unless if it's white, then you gain 3 life or something, 8 mana.
Pretty much. But yeah, I just got even before all this, I just got sick and tired of dealing with people that has like heroic intervention or unbreakable formation or flawless maneuver, right? Like, every single time, it's just like, haha, I got you. It's like, ugh, okay, well, there goes like my damnation.
I'll just do a quick scroll of the creatures. This is a really bad list. Oh, I love it so much. I'll start us off. We've got some pretty cheap ramp options here. We've got our Arbor Elf, 1 green. It's a 1/1. You untap target forest. Again, nice cheap option.
We got the. Whoop. Sorry. Did someone say something?
Nope. I think Slothy just said yeah.
Oh, go. Okay. We have the archetype of aggression for 1 double red enchantment creature. Ooh, so it counts as 2 things. Human warrior, 3/2. Creatures you control have trample. Problem. Creatures your opponent control lose trample and can't gain trample. I love these archetype cards. They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that I can get those giant cards to trample over is never going to be not problematic.
Yeah. And then they trample over, you still do the damage, and then you get more Tarmagoyf, and it just...
We just need 1 damage. That's all we need. That's all we're asking for. A simple 1 damage. You take it, Slothy. Yeah.
Next one. Next up, we've got Blight Keeper. Single black for a 1/1 bat imp with flying. You can pay 7 and a black and tap and sacrifice Blight Keeper. Target opponent loses 4 life and you gain 4 life.
Yeah.
4 life is not bad.
We're never using that. We just want to smash people with our 1-mana 1/1 flyer, Mega Tarmagoyf.
You never know. That might come in handy. That's
to
a
lose the
life
game.
swing.
Yeah, to lose the game for a 4 life, like that would be disrespectful. What's your life total? 4? Interesting.
It takes 8
Funny
mana
you
to
should
do that.
mention.
Come on.
Oh, is it? That'd be brutal. That'd be a funny way to lose. We have our Blood Feather Phoenix. 1 and a red for a 2/2 flying phoenix. Can't block. Whenever an instant or sorcerer you control deals damage to an opponent or battle, you can pay a red. If you do, you can return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste till the end of the turn. We don't really have much of that. We've got a few little Tarfire. Could maybe bring it back, but again, we just want cheap flyers.
Yeah.
Well, cheap evasion on anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole deck. That's the spoiler. Spoiler, this is the creature list. It's not good. There's no better creatures in here. Strap in. Strap in because it's not good.
It's like, this is the most expensive one, 50 cents. Yeah. Everything else is lower than that.
Yeah, like it's this whole creature section. There's 24 creatures. It's a $20 section. You're not getting crazy creatures. Strap in for my Mind Palace.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, the Arbor Elf was probably the most expensive. Oh, actually, wait, no, this next one is.
I think the next one is, yeah.
Elves of the Deep Shadow for a green. You get an Elf Druid that's a 1/1. You tap it, add a black. Elf of Deep Shadow deals 1 damage to you.
Yeah. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
Good time, not a long time. Yeah.
Then we've got the Elvish Spirit Guide. Speaking of here for a good time, not a long time. 2 and a green for 2/2 Elf Spirit. Exile it from your hand to add green.
Yeah, we have a lot of, like I said, we want Disa out as fast as we can. You may notice there was no protection in this deck. There's a reason for that. It's because we're all aggression. Nothing else. Only Tarmagoyfs. Only Tarmagoyfs and trash creatures. This list is for Tarmagoyfs to shine, no one else. So we want, like I said, we want Disa out as fast as we can. We want an ideally turn 3 Disa if possible. And to swing on that turn with 2 flyers. Our goals are optimistic.
Okay.
The next we have is Ethereum Petramander. It is 1 black for a Salamander Drake 1/1 flyer, and it can block only creatures with flying. Blocking isn't our concern where we're going. Then it has 6 and a black. You can adapt 4. Cost 1 less to activate for each other artifact you control, which isn't horrible. You can if it has no 1/1 counters on it, you can put 4 1/1 counters on it, potentially for 1 mana late game. Not horrible for a 1/1 or a 5/5 flyer.
Yeah, not bad at all. I like this card.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I like the artwork on this too, like Salamander Drake.
Yeah, the Petramanders is pretty awesome as a name.
Yeah. Oh, don't ask me to spell that if you ever ask me. No. All right, we got the Fang of Shigeki for a single green. It's a Snake Ninja. It's a 1/1, and it has Death Touch. Oh, it's also an enchantment creature.
Important distinction.
I totally missed this in Kamigawa. Holy smokes.
Oh, I run this in a lot of decks that are just that. My Rego deck has a lot of these 1 mana Death Touchers.
Your Rego deck is annoying.
I love my
so
trash
annoying.
Rego deck so much.
And
in Bloomborough, there's so much for it. There's so many little 1/1 rabbits that do something in this thing, or the little Dewdrop card that brings creatures with 3 or CMC. I love it. It's too good. Too good for that set. I might build a second Rego deck.
Ugh. No thanks.
Play them back to back. Slothy, please.
Oh. No, that's a terrible idea. Next up, though, we've got Gnarlwood Dryad. A single green for 1/1 Dryad Horror with Death Touch. It's got Delirium. Has +2/+2 as long as there's 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard.
I find these 1 mana Death Touch attackers are so annoying.
Oh yeah, Like that was kind of the basis of my whole Finn deck, and is going to be the basis of the whole. There's a new assassin, the Golgari one, that does something similar.
Yeah. It's yeah, just
But
have
they get you.
having to block or letting you like you've got to throw a creature away, or I get my Tarmagoyf, which
Yeah.
is the worst, right? Not Tarmagoyf, just let me have them. We have a Kite Sail Freebooter, a card that actually puts in more work than I thought. I just put it in because it's a flyer, and I have a simple mind. It is 1 and a black for a 1/2 flying human pirate. When it enters, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land, exile it until it leaves the battlefield. Not a horrible card to, again, really, really cripple someone early game. This is 2 mana. A lot of players, myself included, will keep a hand that's not optimal because we've hit a Cultivate or something, right? And if you take that Cultivate out of my hand early game, or you're earlier in turn order and you take away my Farseek and I'm stuck on 2 mana, this is possibly game ruining for people.
Mm-hmm.
It's annoying. I will say that, or getting your early ramp countered.
Getting that early ramp mana tithe.
Yeah,
Run it.
felt that.
You're the one who was telling me about counters in different colors.
It's true. Like no one sees it coming.
Yeah,
It's
stop putting me onto this nonsense playstyle.
it's the best play style. No, it is janky. It's horrible.
I love it.
Don't get me wrong. All right, next card here. We have Loyal Apprentice for 1 in a red. Human Artificer. It's a 2/1. It has haste. It also has Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create a 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. That token gains haste until end of turn. Hooray! Great card. I love this card.
Nice
Not
little flyer to get some more Tarmagoyfs.
not many decks can deal with aggro flyers. It's not a good it's not a good way to play, because normally this would fill our deck with just 1/1 trash.
Yeah.
And there's no payoff for it, and people eventually will retaliate with much bigger, scarier creatures. But when our 1/1 trash is making giant trash goblin monsters that care about the garbage, ooh.
It's true, because like all you need is one person that cannot block a flyer, and then you create one Tarmogoyf. And that one Tarmogoyf, in all honesty, is enough to deter a lot of people from either attacking you or receiving retribution.
It is nice to say, hey, will you let me get 1 damage through, or do you want me to swim with 10 Tarmogoyfs?
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're like of everyone, okay, let's say like we're playing, okay, and I'm doing one that's an idiot that I have no ways to deal with flyers. I'll be like Daniel. Let's chat here for a second. You can officially attack me with like 3 of your flyers. They're all small creatures. They're like 1/1s. I'll take the 3 damage. You get your Tarmogoyfs. You just don't come into me. Okay, you don't swing into me. Like it's a way to politic. It might not be the proper way to politic, but it is a way to survive.
Yeah. I like it. The like I said, this deck's full of just trash. Slothy, take our next trash, please.
Yeah, next up we've got the Nightshade Stinger. It is a single black for a 1/1 fairy rogue with flying, and it can't block.
Yeah, again, we don't need to block where we're going.
Yeah. Blocking's for nerds.
Yeah, blocking is for nerds or whoever angers the Tarmogoyf, the Tarmogoyf group. I did say we have a lot of fairies in the deck.
We do.
Yeah.
We have the next one is our Una's Blackguard. 1/1 for a 1 and a black flying. Each other rogue you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Whenever a creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. Also annoying.
This card is good.
Yeah, we do have some other rogues in the deck, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. All right. Next one we have here is Order of Midnight for 1 in a black. It's a creature human knight. It's 2/2, has flying. Order of Midnight cannot block, but it also has an adventure side on it. So it has Alter Fate for 1 in a black. It's a sorcery. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. and then you would exile the card and put it aside, saying like it's gone on an adventure.
Yeah.
It's like Bilbo.
Yeah. I'm going on an adventure.
I'm going on an adventure.
Next up, we've got the Auric Lore Mage. 2 double black for 3/3 human warlock. You can tap to search your library for a card, put it into your graveyard, then shuffle. If it's an instant or sorcery card, put a +1/+1 counter on Auric Lore Mage.
We just really want to fill the grave with those weird types that people aren't gonna. You don't really see too many planeswalkers in Commander, I find, at least.
Yeah,
At
it's
least in
true.
Not
my
unless
play groups,
you're
yeah.
against like dedicated.
Super friends, right? Yeah. So like it's nice to be able to get that planeswalker into the grave. The same with battles. Battles are not, they're not overly popular yet. Like they're cool when you see them, but they don't really pop up lots, right? So it lets
Yeah.
us get the weird ones in. We have
Yeah.
Phoenix Chick, which is a card I love the artwork on. It's a 1 red for a 1/1 flying haste Phoenix. It can't block, which again, not our problem. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you can pay double red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking with a 1/1 counter on it. I just love this card.
Seems like so much fun.
Yeah.
All right. Next card here is Putrid Imp for a single black. It's a 1/1 zombie imp. You discard a card from your hand, and the imp gets flying till end of turn. It also has Threshold. The imp gets +1/+1 and cannot block. And Threshold is if you have, as long as you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, it gains that.
Yeah. A 2/2, potentially flying discard outlet.
Yeah. Then we've got the Scorned Villager. 1 and a green for a 1/1 human werewolf. You can tap for green. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Scorned Villager. And it transforms into Moonscarred Werewolf, which is a 2/2 werewolf with vigilance. You can tap to add 2 green to your mana pool. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells this turn, transform Moonscarred Werewolf.
This is, if you've got a Spirit Guide, this is a really nice first turn card. Because then you can, you know what I mean? Not many people early game are going to crack off 2 spells. And having that,
true.
that turn 2 mana tapper is pretty powerful. We've got our Simian Spirit Guide again. I love the artwork of this. I've just always enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very well done. It is 2 and a red for something we're never going to cast. It's an Ape Spirit, 2/2. You exile it from your hand to add a red. That's what we want. Again, we want that ramp.
Fair.
But look how beautiful that card is.
It is really nice.
So nicely done.
So we have Subira Tolzindi Caravander. Ooh, fun. For 2 in a red, legendary creature, human shaman, 2/3, has haste. You can tap a colorless mana. Another target creature with power 2 or less cannot be blocked this turn. It also has 1 in a red. You tap it, discard your hand until end of turn. Whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. This is a fun commander. I will kid you not.
Yeah. I just love that it's making so much of our deck unblockable. And then also giving us...
mana.
We also get that refill our hand option, right?
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Yeah, there's just so many, like, it's very easy to be like, I make 5 of my creatures unblockable, tap this, I draw 5.
Yeah.
Because these cards aren't going to sit in our hand very often. Like, they're all small CMC cards that 1 mana. What am I waiting for? A miracle?
Yes. Holding up for a hero.
Oh.
Don't make me start singing. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how we get copyright striked, Sherman.
No one cares.
Me asking where have all the good men gone and where are all the gods? Whew. Don't set me off with a good time. Slothy, please.
Next up, we've got Tajuru Blightblade. Single green for 1/1 elf rogue with Death Touch.
Yeah. We do have
Yeah.
trample things in this deck, and Death Touch trampling is obnoxious.
Yeah, that was
It is.
was it your enchantment
Yeah,
Beastmaster Ascension?
yeah, or archetype of aggression, just so we can roll over.
Yeah. Ugh. No thanks.
Gross, right? We have another werewolf here. We've got this village messenger, 1 red for a 1/1 with haste. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast, you transform it, and transformed it has menace. And the beginning of each upkeep, menace and 2/2. Beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, transform it. There's a lot of decks that just can't keep up with a have to block 2 mana early game.
Constantly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Wasp of the Bitter End for 1 in a black. It's insect horror for a 2/1 flying. When we cast a Bolus Planeswalker spell, you may sacrifice Wasp. If you do, destroy target creature. Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
Not in this deck, nope.
And then the final creature we've got here is Wild Canter. Hybrid Gruul for a 1/1 human druid. Sacrifice Wild Canter to add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah.
Fair, nice.
There's like I said, I like that this is like a nice fast list, like a slightly shorter one today, but it's because they don't have any good abilities. There's nothing to read in here or explain. It's a 1 mana flyer. Okay.
Yeah, hearing like for example, Tajuru Blightblade. It's a 1/1 with Death Touch. And
Yeah. That's it. There is let me pop up on the screen here. I will
Your non-budget one.
Yeah, my non-budget one. It's not much of a difference. It's 2 seconds here for everyone that's on this chat. Why is this way?
Yeah, you don't have many differences. Like you have like a few cards that are different, but that's about it.
Yeah, the most of what is in the aggro list is going to be kind of just more expensive lands again. Still
Yeah,
a
like
really low salt summary.
yeah, it's like 22. But like
And yeah, like it's again my expensive stuff. It's basically the same list. It's Mana Crypt, but I'm just able to Mana Crypt into Moss Diamond easier. A lot of the other stuff. Yeah, a bunch of the other stuff is like your Burning Tree Emissaries are another great one. When it enters, you add another 2 green or like a red and a green. That's pretty good. It's a pretty similar section. I don't think actually there's much difference in it.
no, you have things like you just have more expensive things. So you have like Sylvan Library. You know, you have Aggravated Assault.
Aggravated
stuff
Assault
like that.
is a
Bitter
great
Blossom.
card. Yeah, Bitter Blossom is another awesome one, making us our 1/1 flyers. Like the big version of it isn't as horrible. Whenever a creature enters under your control, it explores. That's also pretty great to possibly give these like trash 1/1 cards flying or yeah, like an extra counter. Sorry. Yeah, like it's not too much of a difference. Realms Uncharted is a little expensive. You search for 4 lands with different names. Opponent chooses 2 of them, 2 to grave, 2 to hand. Just a cheaper way of forking the road.
Like the two big things you have here are like the Mana Crypt and like the Bayou.
Yeah, then we've got like some more buried alive kind of things in here, like a little different, but it's a pretty similar list, minus just the expensive parts of I had an extra Bayou lying around and it is in the deck now.
You just happen to have an extra Bayou.
I took apart one of my Wilson decks. I had too many Wilson decks. But yeah, like I said, I'll put both in them and stuff. The deck is just really, really fun to pilot. It was really fun to play the pre-con version of it. I actually left the pre-con assembled and just switched out the pre-cons Disa for the hard stock card. Yeah. And I think I want to start doing that more and more, actually using that display card as my commander, because basically second copy of it, and
Might as well.
lets me go into like a different build path, because this is very different than the normal build path, right? The one where you want Lurgoyf permanents going into the grave and kind of more of a self mill thing. We're not self milling at all. We're just aggro, just Jund
Yeah.
aggression.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
That's it. That's my list. Again, it's nice and easy. It's simple brain stuff. What did you guys think?
Slothy, go ahead first.
I really enjoyed it. I have been a very big fan of how you have been building a lot of your decks, and player removal is the best form of removal.
Yeah.
Unless it's too
Um,
fast.
well, well,
Well then.
yeah, the budget's awesome. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like it's going to do its thing all the time, or pretty consistently.
Yeah, it just wants to make
Yeah,
Tarmagoyfs.
no,
It's a simple deck.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all you want.
no complaints. I quite like it.
I like the fact that it is an aggro. Like overall, I am a spell slinger kind of a player, but I do like aggro decks the most just because you're forcing to play for other people. You're forcing them to try to um deal with everything. And it's hard to deal with. It's like playing StarCraft. Like I'm a Terran player, but sometimes I want to do a Zerg rush, right?
Yep.
So, I love the fact that you have a deck where you actually want to put in a lot of battles, because that's something that you don't, like you said, you don't see that often. Like I am looking forward to when they do create more battles. Like I remember a few months ago in one of my play groups, we were just discussing like how would they bring back battles, and we were talking about like like when they do the Marvel stuff, the Marvel set. It would be cool if they did
Mm.
battles there, because like it's like they were like speculating like wouldn't it be cool if they had like partners, but instead of partners, it's partners in crime, so you have like the heroes and the villains,
That'd be
so you
cool.
have to partner them up that way,
The
and
team
the
up, yeah.
battles would be battles in the city. Like we're speculating stuff like that, so we're like like we want to see more battles.
I think they're
So
not gonna like they're still gonna keep making the D&D sets. It's too good of a market to not.
yeah, they
And I
have
think
to.
that's another great spot for the battles. I really hope they bring back
Yeah,
more backgrounds too. I love the background mechanic.
Yeah, like I think it's easier for them to do that just
backgrounds
because
are
like
so good.
it's all under the same brand. They don't have to go out and get special permission.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but overall, like this deck, like you know, it smacks like crazy. Like just because like the moment you hit someone, you hit them with a 1/1. It's like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll just like take the damage. Okay, like people forget. They're like, okay, I'll just take the one damage. One damage isn't bad. All right, here comes like a 6/7 Tarmagoyf.
They get so big
And
so
it's like,
fast.
yeah,
Yeah,
I built this deck, like I said, on a total misread of Tarmagoyf. I was like, I'll just do this in my own grave. And I was like, this is going to be pretty strong, filling my own grave with things. But everyone else is helping me with their stuff too. Yikes.
yeah, that was just
yeah.
stupid. It's just like, okay, you're the problem. We
Yeah,
need to deal with this
I was like,
now.
I think they're 2/3s. And you're like, I have like 3 different kinds of mine alone. I was like, oh, let me read the card. Yeah, reading the card does explain the card sometimes. The
Just
But yeah,
yeah,
occasionally.
you can definitely power a deck like this up. Like obviously, token doublers are going to be massive.
but like,
More populate like routes as well to keep making versions of them. Like there's lots of ways you could go and stuff. I've been avoiding the win more cards lately. Like a doubling season would be wonderful, but a doubling season is just win more.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
Yeah,
I find doubling the tokens and everything in all honesty like kind of meh. So, I would have probably made this into like a gold deck.
oh, I love Goad so much. A Goad version of
So
this would be fun because it's also so annoying because then they don't have anything left to block with.
exactly.
Oh, I love that.
yeah.
And then
There's
you're forced to swing in with the Tarmogoyf. So you're like, sorry, there's nothing else I can do about this.
there
Like,
is a new token commander. Like they made like Kumena in red, white, green in the Bloomburrow stuff. That one I'll probably put a doubling season in because it's like you tap tokens instead of merfolk. I'll probably put it there, but then it's going to be like I'm going to build probably 3 versions of that deck, and one's going to be like I make food tokens and I'm tapping the food tokens for this ability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This Bloomburrow episode, when we talk about Bloomburrow, it's going to be a 3-hour episode. I'm not shutting up about any of these cards. Normally we just like rip through rares. Not this time. Not this time. There's probably the best commons and uncommons I've seen in a set in a long time.
We'll just like we have the commander set, so that's like going to be like 1 to 2 episodes there, because depending on how much we talk about. Then you have the main set. We'll just have one talk for the rares and mythics, and another one where we talk about the uncommons, and another one we talk about the commons. Like,
I like
that's
it.
what we might have to do.
But yeah, no, I'll like I said, I'll end us there and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be a long episode. We'll I'll stop alluding to Bloomburrow. I'll pretend for once that a new set isn't coming out in 2 weeks. It is already 2 weeks. The 13th. That's crazy.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
Oh, Bloomburrow decks are coming. That might mean that Bloomburrow's pre-release is the weekend before. Are we a week from Bloomburrow? Am I about to lose my mind?
When the release date is.
Let me.
All of us rushing to the keyboard, you just hear furious typing.
August the 2nd release date.
So its pre-release is the week before?
Yeah, July 26th is the pre-release.
Oh,
That's soon. That's soon.
July 26th. That's Sleeves, get ready. Speaking of sleeves, let me roll our outro. First thing in the outro, thank you guys for getting through our episode. If you enjoy my trash building and the interesting buildings of the other co-hosts, come check it out. Like, share, subscribe. It really does help us out. Patreon's a great spot to discuss this. I'm going to be non-stop talking about the Bloomburrow stuff, so come join us on Discord. We have a free tier on Patreon where you can come over and chat as well. I don't know if the free tier gets you into the patron part of it, but you can still be in the Discord, see all the spoilers live as they come, see lots of deck discussions, and there's a lot. I'm building a lot. This is the first set that's given me like Strixhaven excitement, and Strixhaven was my favorite set. It was super enjoyable. But the thing I was getting to is we have a lovely link in our description, YouTube and blah blah blah, YouTube everywhere you're going to find this episode. Go buy AI armor sleeves. They are phenomenal, and that's what I'm putting a lot of these in. I can't get over how good they are. When we first got our shipment, I was like, oh cool, like some sleeves will check. No, they're the nicest sleeves I've used, and everything else physically hurts me to see because I'm knocking them over. They're so full of air. Dragon Shield, step your game up, or send me 100 sleeves. Send me 100 sleeves, and maybe I'll like Dragon Shield a little more. My loyalty can be bought. No, the AI armor sleeves are great, and they're great guys. So definitely go support them. They absolutely deserve it. It's a cool product. Constant new art. Sherman, please.
Yeah, they came out with new artwork for the Bloomburrow stuff coming out for the sleeves.
Don't tell me this. You're gonna bankrupt me, Sherman. Ever. This is an assault, a psychic assault from everyone around my wallet. But yeah, that's it. We you know what? You guys get a little more of the song, because I wasn't done talking. Yeah. Other than that, join Patreon. It's a cool place to hang out. We've got our website. Lots of cool articles are up there. All of our content's there. Check out our gameplay stuff. I missed the gameplay one this week. I thought that I had the description done, and then I just didn't, and I was working. So, yeah, life gets there. You'll get an episode next week of gameplay.
And as well, if you cannot afford that Mana Crypt or the Bayou or that Sylvan Library, you can check out Abyss Proxy and see if they can have one of those cards out for you at a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Than like $200.
Yeah, you can definitely get a promo code IT99 there for a little bit of a discount as well. You get definitely a nice nice proxy version to get your more expensive Disa list if you need it.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for real this time. Now I let us scroll out. Here we go. Just a little more music for everyone.
I have no tone. Do not take me to karaoke. I cannot sing.
Oh, we're gonna go to karaoke.
No.
It's better
No,
if you
no.
can't sing.
You know what? Back to the screen. I would do Into the Karaoke for sure.
All right, guys.
Yeah. All right. Now for real. Now we fade out. Now we fade to nothingness.
Laters.
See ya.